Thanks to my job as a marketing and advertising executive, I've been involved with social media since its infancy, for better and for worse. Back then, in the early 2000s, the internet and social media was heralded as a revolutionary technology that would change the way we communicate, work, and engage with each other. At its best, the internet promised to shine a light on the darkest corners of our society. It would allow us to share information with everybody, build stronger communities, connect us to a wider group of people. And at first, for the most part, that's what it did. We even called it the democratization of information. And in fact, this free and open flow of information did everything from fostering communities and creating global friendships to playing a role in the toppling of governments and regimes. It brought attention to social, ethical, environmental, and political ills that in the past would have been minimally visible to the most of society. But the pendulum has swung, as history should have predicted. Throughout our history, forces have swung society's pendulum from one extreme to the other. You can see that in today's very divided world. Just as the pendulum reaches one extreme, some breakpoint event happens that will force it the other way. It coalesces our community, our groups into one, so we can fight together to reset that path. This can be seen throughout our history in political movements, social class systems, and even religious-inspired conflicts and wars. Are we at such a crossroads today? Well, consider this. I've been studying mental health now for about 4 years. About 4 years ago, we lost our son to depression, after a secret battle with depression. And that got me really interested in why is it that there are so many cases of depression, especially amongst teens, and so many cases of suicide, especially among teens today versus 20 years ago? Are we simply talking about it more? Is it just more readily available? Or are there actually more cases? And so I've tracked the reported cases of depression and suicide over the last 30 years and noticed that after a long period of decline, suicide started to climb up dramatically at the same time that the big social networks were launched: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. More research indicated that, and actually this comes out of the University of Alberta, that the effects of social media on bullying has dramatically increased. Shouldn't be new to anybody, but they show that 23% of teens report being targeted, and 15% said they'd be bullied, that they themselves have bullied somebody else. So is it just a coincidence, the rise of social media and the rise of mental health concerns? Every day, a new study is released that highlights the negative effects of social media on businesses, politics, culture, and mental health. Cyberbullying and trolling is just one of those, and it's as common today as sharing cat memes. The addiction to social media, and by teens in particular, has created a world where we live and breathe online. And this has led to increased stalking, identity theft, personal attacks, and the misuse of our information. People have developed unhealthy sleep patterns, negative views of themselves, and established very unrealistic expectations of their lives. Are we at that breaking point today? It's getting so bad that people are taking digital vacations to de-stress from the effects of social media. And task forces are being created at universities and governments to study the increased suicide rates and its association to social media. Where do we go from here? What's the responsibilities of marketers, business leaders, government officials, or us as everyday citizens to counter this effect? What effect will this all have on social media marketing or social media channels, or the way we communicate within them? Is a course correction imminent? Is the pendulum going to swing back in the other direction? Well, that's why I'm going back to Victoria, BC in April. I'm going to be sharing insights from my research, highlighting the turning point that I believe our society is at, and issuing a call to action to take back control of our personal and professional lives, and especially that of our kids. Will you join me? See you April 25th and 26th in Victoria, British Columbia for the 10th annual Social Media Camp. I look forward to seeing you there.